right, guys, Sandy's been here 2 years. She's got lots to share. I'm going to talk to her all about how she got down here, where she's living. You know, she has an autistic kid. Well, how's that all work out with living here, residency here? She's got a house here. How'd that all go? We're going to be talking to her in a minute after I pay a few bills. Hey, guys, I'm Michael Allen from TravelCostaRicaNow.com. TravelCostaRicaNow.com is a travel agency, so go to TravelCostaRicaNow.com. Fill out the 4-minute form. You'll be that much closer to the vacation of a lifetime. We're like you, having best friends who live in Costa Rica, who know Costa Rica, totally hooking up your Costa Rica vacation. Please subscribe if you haven't already. YouTube doesn't care, but we do. And you know what? Just because you subscribe doesn't mean you're going to see our videos. They mess with us a little bit. You know anything about YouTube? So to defeat those algorithms, you got to hit the notification bell if you want to see our videos as we put them up. Sandy, thank you for sitting down and talking to us. I recognize Sandy because she's watched our videos for actually a number of
couple years.
So I recognize her little thumbnail. We had some breakfast yesterday, kind of chatted. But anyway, she's got a lot of good stuff. So let's start from the beginning, Sandy. The beginning. The beginning of you weren't here yet. How did Costa Rica maybe get on the map? Had you hit other countries? What kind of homework and read? All that kind of general stuff. You're retired, right?
Sí.
Okay.
Yes.
Ooh, Spanish. We're not doing that, Sandy.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Because if you go past C and no, I'm not going to understand anything.
Okay. Yes, I am. Actually, my husband and I are just recently retired, and he is actually a retired railroader, and we wanted to move here. He actually looked into and asked me to move to Costa Rica 10 years ago. And I'm like, no, I'm not ready. I mean, I was still working.
10 years ago?
Mm-hmm, he wanted to come 10 years ago.
I like how he thinks so. That's like, let's do this.
Yes. And because we are research people, like I research like a bulldog. I will research everything and talk to people. And so we researched, we love tropical places. Costa Rica was always on our radar. I mean, just on our radar. And so 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, we decided, let's just come here, let's check out the country, let's see how we like it. And I gotta be honest, when I first came down here, I thought that, and we brought our autistic son with us, and he's 26 now. He celebrated his birthday here.
We won't keep calling him autistic, but let's go ahead and give him a name because we're going to try to talk about him a little later. And
Justin.
It's going to sound a little weird if we keep
So
going.
the three of us came down, and we had 2 little dogs and our cat as carry-ons. We visited here. We absolutely fell in love with the climate. We fell in love with the beauty, all the animals, the wildlife. I love animals.
Where did you go? Where were you traveling around at? Did you just go to one place? So the beach, mostly the beach.
Started at the beach, and
you're already making me hot.
I thought I was going to come here because vacationing there was wonderful. And I thought, I'm going to move here to Costa Rica, and I'm going to live at the beach, and I'm going to live in paradise, and I'm going to just sit on the bench all day.
I don't think that's going to work, but let's just see where this all goes.
Yeah. Well, we decided to move here, and what we did.
And that was about 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, real quick, just go back. Maybe you said this. I'm sorry to wait. Were you looking at other countries?
We have been to other countries, but not. We actually had 3 of them. We were thinking about the Panama, Costa Rica, and Belize.
Yeah, that's the ones.
Yeah.
Sometimes you throw Mexico in there. Sometimes you throw Thailand in there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those are the ones.
Those are the 3, but we narrowed it down because we look at everything. We look at healthcare. We look at how easy it is to get to somewhere because we're retired,
right? And
we have our son with us. We need to be able to go take my son to a clinic if I need to, or if we because of his needs, he needs his computer and his that's his.
We all do, Sandy.
Yes.
We all need our screens. Yes. What are you talking about?
So we had to be somewhere like if something he needed a part or anything like that. So yeah, we loved being in Guanacaste, but then the dry season came.
Okay, so then now you came here to live, and you're living up in Guanacaste.
Sí.
Now, I want to go back again for a second. How prepared did you believe you were to make the move? I mean, did you kind of go, honey, I think we got this. We're going to another country, uprooting our whole entire life, and I think it's going to be great.
It was actually we were nervous because we sold everything. We sold everything, and we donated everything.
No container?
We did get a container.
Well, you didn't sell everything then?
No, because we were talking a certain person.
But you're trying to have the best of both worlds, Sandy.
Certain person that was trying to help us come here, who was not from Costa Rica, said, "Oh, you need to bring this because you won't find it here. You need to bring that because you won't find it here."
Well, you could say that about everything.
Exactly.
So, I don't know if that's...
We were told that. So that was a nightmare.
So you were led astray, basically, by somebody. We don't have to get into those stories,
right.
But...
my stuff didn't arrive for 5 months. And when it did, it was held hostage for a while, and they kept asking more and more money than what we were quoted. We were to the point
How'd you find? So you found that place through that guy.
Person.
Oh, how convenient!
Yes,
he knows people. I'm sure.
Yes. So, if it was, then it was held for ransom, and my husband was just like, "You could keep the stuff. It's not even worth what you're asking us, you know." So, that we had to really learn the hard way. By the time it came 5 months later, half of it was broken or stolen. So it was really a disappointment, and that is something I wouldn't do over unless I've seen your videos.
Yeah, let's do a quick break on that. Guys, I have a container person that will import your stuff, and he's reputable and he's honest. And what she just said won't happen with my guy, just so we're clear.
Mm-hmm.
But your story is not exception story. Those are a lot of those stories. You know, there's a lot of those. That's not just an exception, bad story. So that's why, it's a lot of times it's your whole house. So obviously that's a very important decision of picking the right person. And I have them.
You do. And after I saw your video, I was like, I wish we, shoulda, coulda, woulda. You can't even go there. Yeah. So we learned, and we hope when we tell other people, do your research. Just make sure you listen to the people that you trust. Like we trusted you all the time, seeing your videos.
But even that, I've told people. I'm sorry sorry, my mind's going a little quick, but you can't really get, because I did the same thing. I got stuck on one person because I thought we were friends. Why would I ask other people if he's my friend? Well, we got ripped off kind of the whole same way because I wasn't doing any checks and balances because I thought I had the guy.
That exactly us. Exactly. And nothing was what he said. When we got here, we moved our whole life here, like you said, our whole life here.
Was he gringo or tico?
He's gringo. And he's an expert on Costa Rica.
You're making all my videos seem even better, because that's a true statement right there.
Yes, we have not had bad experiences yet from a local. We have not really had bad experiences.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so this was really, really hard for me because we did trust this guy. We just, we started communicating, and because he has all this
knowledge.
Yes, expert on Costa Rica. But when we met, it was just totally opposite. It was opposite of everything he said. So I always, they can trust your videos. People can trust you because you're like real. And
TravelCostaRicaNow.com.
Exactly.
So now you're in Guanacaste. Now you're renting at this point, right?
I moved away after 5 months because when the rainy season came.
No, wait. So you got up in Guanacaste. You're basically you were renting a home when you first got here.
Right. Yeah, we were renting from him, but we left right away because we just couldn't be there. And then we found another rental. I lived at the beach in Marbella, in Guanacaste.
Put that closer to, is that close to Tamarindo? Names people might recognize.
It's in between. Santa Cruz is where we used to shop. So it's a fishing community. It's in between Tamarindo and you got Nasara, is it down there? Nicoya?
Well,
Nasara.
south, yeah.
It's in the middle of that.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a fishing community, so it's not like, it's all basically locals on a dirt road. But this is something that I never knew. When you're vacation here, you just don't know these things. It would pour down rain when it got wet season, and my whole yard I was renting was a river. My dogs would have drowned in it. I mean, a river, not a little stream. The whole yard was a river. In the backyard, it was coming down off the cliffs and everything, and coming to your house. And it was like, whoa, that's a lot of rain. And then when it dried up,
and of course the person that owns the house that never happened before. Mm-hmm. That was probably the first time it ever happened, wasn't it? They were unclear. Wow, really? That happened?
And the jungle lives in your house. I didn't expect having almost 5-foot iguanas getting in my ceiling up above. I never experienced anything like that. So one day I got up and I put my feet down on the floor in my bedroom, and I slipped and fell right on my butt.
You can say ass on my channel.
And I told the landlord, and I went, ooh, what? It was kind of slimy. And I went, what is that? And I told the landlord, I said, we have a leak or something in the bedroom, in our bedroom. And she said, oh no, that's iguana feces. That's iguana.
How were you guys handling this? Were you guys laughing about this or going, what the hell did we get into?
That's exactly what we did. And they kept saying, why don't you buy our house? Why don't you buy our house? And we're like,
well, it comes with a river. Why wouldn't you?
Yes.
Just get a raft, you're all set.
And then it dries out. Oh, they wanted us to pay to get rid of the iguanas. Well, you need to do this, and we're renters.
Okay, we need to get out of this house as soon as possible. So how long were you there?
5 months.
Let's get out of this. Okay, where'd you go? Where'd you go after that?
Hot and dry too. We got an Airbnb, and we started, we've been to Dominical, we've been to Oaxaca, we've been to Uvita.
Right.
Just wasn't what we were looking for. We wanted more.
Were you renting in each place, or you mean you rented a place and then you were driving around searching things out?
We rented Airbnbs and stuff. We did do what you suggested with the renting. Rent.
Now, did you guys have all your stuff with you? Was this
still on a truck? It was still on a ship for a long time.
So 5 months in, you still didn't have all that stuff.
No.
Well, let's close that story up too. Did you ever get it?
I did, and
how long did that take?
Almost 6 months.
And it was a lot of stuff broken, missing.
A lot of stuff missing, even though it's on your list. It's missing, and U.S. Customs goes through it, and they put this tape around everything. And I would have basic things missing, lamps missing, and then what wasn't was broken. And my son, because he brought his PC and stuff here because he didn't know, and we were told we can't find all this stuff, and that's his life. So he was so scared that his gaming stuff wouldn't make it here or be broken. And that was all I really cared about, is Justin getting his stuff.
Yeah, that is important. But let's take a little quick break there. The thing with the whole electronics and computers and phones and stuff is you can definitely get them here, but they are way more expensive.
Absolutely.
So you definitely want to bring, I would tell people all the time, if you don't bring anything, you don't get that container full of stuff, get your electronics stuff and bring that here.
Totally agree. Yeah. We decided not to bring the cars because we didn't want to, for us, we did not want to have that extra taxing and stuff.
All right,
because they hadn't passed that yet.
Well, they passed it and they're still not doing it. So that's a whole nother, we can get into that right now. So your search, gosh, were you guys getting a little scared because the place you were gonna stay kind of fell through regardless of the river? Because you also didn't like it because it was too hot, right? Is that true, or I made that up?
It was so hot. No, it was so hot, and you had to drive 18 miles on a dirt road just to get to a paved road, and it would wash out in some areas. Or the bridges here in these places, they're halfway down in the river, and you're going, okay, please don't fall in today.
Man, we need to flash a picture of your friend Matt on this channel and say beware, or put out a wanted poster or something.
He is not. Yeah, he's not something you want to get involved with.
But you know what? I'm not even going to say anything. We did the exact same thing. Those people are good. They're good. They're friends. They're fast friends with you. Oh my gosh, I feel like I've known you all the time. I'm gonna help you out because and you do. You kind of get sucked in, and you're thinking, yeah, well, we are friends. Why would? And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, what just happened?
And it happens so fast. You're spinning, and so we decided, okay, after those areas, this isn't really where we want to do. We don't want to drive 2 hours to get to a clinic. We don't want to. My husband was in a very bad accident, a motorcycle accident years ago, and he sometimes needs to see the doctor,
Right.
you know, and I just didn't want a chance somebody cutting their hand with a machete or something, and then there's no ambulance.
Well,
There's
actually,
no,
it doesn't even have to be that. It doesn't have to be machete. It can almost
Right.
be any little. It can even be a littler thing, and you're still like, uh-oh.
Yes, and when you're retired, we think about those things. When I came here, I didn't think about those things. All I thought about was, I'm going to come here and live Puta Vida on the beach with a little umbrella in my water, and that's going to be my life.
And you
in
were so,
paradise.
and plus you were looking for cooler temperatures. Is it true, right?
Yes, that's why we finally
Which
went
would be in
up.
the Central Valley,
Mhm.
right? The Central Valley.
We started then, so I rented an Airbnb, and we said, let's take, since we've tried all this area, let's start going up. Let's start going up where the coffee and everything is.
And and the cooler temperatures.
Oh, it was wonderful. So I went to Heredia, and we looked around there, and we stayed there, and I got to meet which is a really good friend of mine now, but we live next door to her in the Airbnb. And yes, it stays these beautiful temperatures all year round. And I'm in Santa Lucia Barba, so we're up with the coffee plant. I look at a coffee
Kind
plantation.
of use maybe like, what kind of some like Manuel Antonio, San Jose, and
Not
some
far from
more.
Santa Barbara, probably. I'd say.
Yeah, but Santa Barbara's not a popular. People, you say
No.
Santa Barbara, they don't know what that is. But
Heredia. It's
okay.
Heredia. I'm gonna.
And
have
you're
to
close
say
to the.
Heredia.
And you're. Sounds like you're close to the coffee plantations. I don't know if you guys know this, but coffee is one of, Costa Rica is one of the top 3 coffee growing regions in the world. The Tarasú region.
Yes. See. Yes. And in fact, we live not too far from Brit, the famous coffee.
Okay, I'm going to go
plantation
with
there.
that, but Brit's
Yeah.
not good coffee. Just like so we're clear, we don't have
Okay.
to talk about that. But yes, they do put on a great show though. If you ever want to see a coffee tour, actually Brit's got a really good
Okay.
one. But
Yeah.
they actually buy coffee from everybody's
Plantations.
and they kind of do mixes and stuff. But whatever, they're the Coca-Cola of coffee. Here,
They
for
are.
sure.
They are. And so some people know where that is. So I live up the mountain from that. But we do. It cools
Is it a
down.
community or is it? Are you like by yourself? Is
No,
it
we're a
private?
community. We're
Gated?
rural.
Is it just
No,
so
just
no HOA?
no. My house has a gate and everything to get into my property, but not the house itself. I mean, does, but it's not. No, we're not in a guarded, gated community, anything like that. All my neighbors are locals, and they're actually family. It's all family around there.
It's all family everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Were you ever during those first 6 months of these things happening? Were you guys? Did you ever kind of well? I mean, seriously, look at what have we done? Like, do we need to go back? Was that ever?
No,
So you were
No.
like plowing ahead,
Mhm.
plowing ahead.
because
I mean,
I
it
didn't
hit
feel
half
like
the
I-
stuff. There's all kinds of bad things that can happen with banking and buying houses
yeah, that's
and
one of
getting
my-
a car and all kinds of stuff. So you weren't even out of the woods yet.
no. And we got a bank account.
Can I ask you a favor?
And-
Could you? No, it's okay. Could you? There's coffee right around that corner. Could you fill this big cup up? 3 straws.
Yeah, that's one of the things I didn't expect is the wait in line to pay my kaharari in the bank. I didn't expect to wait 2 and 3 hours. And one time we were waiting for 3 hours, and then they came out and told us the system was down.
Bienvenidos a Costa Rica.
And so but my husband says,
Thank you so much.
Fred says that teaches him his patience and tolerance for the day. And if he could get through that,
Costa Rica actually,
get through
I've tried
everything.
to explain this to people. It's actually past patience. Patience, no, you have to almost become one with things. It's not
Uh-huh.
even like, okay, I'm gonna be patient. You have to kind of change your whole how you do stuff in
oh
a
yes,
sense.
oh yes.
So-
And some personalities to me, which we knew we were going to stay. We knew we wanted to be here. We wanted to stay. We wanted to get residency. But see, that's us. That's how we are. And I can only speak for us. Not everybody
Right.
feels that
And
way.
not everybody makes it, as we all know.
Right.
Okay, so you're at the Airbnb. You're meeting some people. You're up in the mountain. But you bought a house.
We ended up buying a house a mile down the road from where I was renting. Yes, because I loved the area.
And I gotta say, with all the bad stuff she's been saying, I saw she talked about her house yesterday. it's bomb. She did good. Told me how much she paid. You didn't even really get gringo price. That was a good,
No, we
that
didn't
was
get gringoed at
I'm not
all.
saying couldn't have been a little cheaper maybe, but it was still a very good
Mm-hmm.
price, and I think you did really good on that. So
Stayed in our budget, and
just explain the house real quick and maybe a little bit of that experience of buying it. You don't have to go, go
Okay.
down a rabbit hole, but just
we live in a really nice community, and like I said, they're all family and everything. It's all locals, and we have a beautiful coffee plantation. I stare at it, and then I can look at the hills of Escazú out my front door. It's beautiful. We found this house, and it was bank owned, and the locals had it built, which was the aunt and uncle to my neighbors. And they were there for the 15 years that they built it, and they lost it after the pandemic. And so it was owned by a bank, and it's not easy to buy a house. It's not as easy to buy a house here or property if you come from the States, only because if it's for sale by owner and stuff, sometimes because your money has to go into escrow, and then you have to prove all this, where the money came from.
you definitely need a lawyer on
all that.
stuff to
We
do.
had an attorney, a wonderful attorney, and he helped us through this. But when it was a bank, all we had to do was wire the money.
Yeah, because they're a bank.
It's
right?
bank to bank is so much easier, and we had to learn all that. But we learned that from our attorney, and everything.
So
we
you got
gave to him.
lucky on that. Actually, you that house just happened to be bank owned. You're like, okay, but
Yes.
so that was a score even on that part of it. I think, so.
The way it happened, it was like no accident, because there was a Si Vende for sale sign on it, and I kept saying, look at that house, because we knew we were going to buy it. See, that's another thing. We knew eventually we were going to buy a house here and stay, and then we'd go by, and it was, because I lived just right up the hill, it was the for sale sign was gone, and we're like, oh, I wonder if it's sold, and we just kind of let it go, and then Fred kept the picture on his phone, so he called. He says, I'm just going to call, and that's how we found out it was bank owned. It was like they answered, and it was a bank.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and it was like, he says, oh yeah, it's still for sale.
No, we don't have to get too super personal and stuff, but what, 5 bedrooms?
4 bedrooms,
Four-
3 full bathrooms.
3 full bathrooms, 4 bedrooms, teak ceilings, cement house, which you definitely want down here. Don't cement. Remember that. Keep going with some of the amenities.
A bathtub. I have a
No,
bathtub.
that can't be true. There's no bathtubs in Costa
know.
Rica. I'm sorry.
And this one does, and I was joking.
Sandy, you don't have to lie to do videos with me, okay?
I was joking. And hot water throughout the whole house. We have hot water on demand on everything. The whole house has hot water, which
That
we
doesn't
didn't
happen
have.
either. I think
No.
she could be lying.
No, doesn't happen. In fact, it gets too hot sometimes.
But you have suicide showers, right?
No.
Oh, so it's okay.
We have
that's
the real
all right.
deal.
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
When they built this home, all the family there is architects and everything. They all had really good jobs. This is an upper scale community.
And can we just kind of ballpark the price? Only because, people really do have this vision of buying houses. They think of a couple different places. Right in San Jose, Escazú always pops up because that's like a U.S. city.
Yes.
Those homes are 400,000, 350 and up. Or it's beach condos by the beach for $500,000 and 800,000. But yours was.
They had it listed for 190, which was still a decent price for the house. If you saw the house, you would know what I mean. But we actually picked it up for 160. They took.
Yeah, you told me the story yesterday. I thought it was a really good. How much land does it sit on? Is it just
But the thing is, we're all undercover. But we have The house is 2,000 square feet.
Well, so the
And
land you must be on a.
And the outside, we got a little front yard, then the whole side of the house on the back. So it's not huge, but it's a decent, and we're not connected. Like, we're not connected to our neighbors' houses, like some of the houses.
You can't watch them take showers and stuff?
No, and I can't, you might hear their dog bark or they hear mine, but we just, no, there's a fencing wall between us, but our houses are not connected. There's only 4 of us there, and we have a nice dead end here, but it's just a really safe, I mean, we walk all the time. We walk up and down those hills all the time, and I have never felt unsafe where I live. Absolutely.
So the whole banking thing made this kind of the house thing pretty seamless.
Absolutely.
Seems like, which
I'd
is
say
really-
if you could find a bank-owned home here, or even that way, if
Oh,
somebody's
there's a lot.
worried.
Well, you go in the bank, they have
Yes.
the videos are up on the TV, or in the TV, and
Yes.
they land and all kinds of stuff. And
But use an attorney. I would
Well, you
not
have to.
ever do anything
No,
here
you've got
without
to.
your attorney.
Well, plus, I mean, just to get escrow, you get
Yes.
your money down here. You just can't go. I'll have my bank wire you guys $160,000. Doesn't really
Exactly.
quite work like that.
And that bank was willing, because when you wire money, you have a date. You have a limit.
Right. Oh, yeah.
You have a limit. The bank, when we put in our offer to this house, the bank took our offer of, we'll wire you this much daily until it's paid, and
Nice.
it was really easy.
How many gringos are in your area?
All.
Oh, it's all gringos.
I mean, no, excuse me, no gringos in my area.
Just you guys.
Hmm. We're the only ones.
That's kind of cool too.
We have they're all friends of ours. I've been over to dinner and lunch, holidays with them. I go bowling with, and
Bowling?
we go bowling.
That's in your house?
No.
Bowling.
Yeah, she takes me to the bowling alley. There's a bowling alley that we go to.
I didn't know there was a bowling.
Yeah, we go whip bowling and the
A
family.
bowling, a bathtub, and hot water throughout. Your life couldn't get any better than that.
But our life is so much simpler here because we didn't want to come here with, we've had the two
things.
cars and the convertible
The stuff.
Mustang and we've had all that stuff that we were just married to, and it's like we only shop at the farmers markets now. We don't shop at the expensive expat stores. We do everything local. We don't it's affordable for us here. Our property tax is hardly anything. Our car insurance is hardly anything.
Go back, because people don't understand this. People like to go, oh, Costa Rica's so expensive. Well, yes, it can be, depending. Got those videos. But property taxes, which just ballpark yours. Just ballpark yours.
$300 a year. $300 a year.
$300 a year. What's yours? So when you guys start complaining, shut up.
Car insurance, we pay, I think it was like $140 a year.
And that's, you kind of pick your own, what you want to do.
What you
with
wanna
your car
do.
insurance.
Because
Did you guys, when you were doing this, you're doing a more simplified life, was that the intent when you came down here? Like, we are changing some things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We want to enjoy Costa Rica. We want the lower cost of living, because I hear we have friends all the time message us, calling us, oh, what's it like? What's this? What does it cost? Is it expensive? I've heard it expensive. And it's like, you have to just tell people it depends on your lifestyle. I can't tell someone how their life's going to be expensive.
Wants
or not.
versus needs. It's
That's
wants versus
exactly
needs.
what it is. And if you do support the locals, if you do go to the farmers markets, if you don't have to eat out the fancy restaurants every day. I mean, we go to sodas.
Yeah.
Some of our favorite sodas, and I get a huge breakfast for $2,000.
Right.
I mean, and that includes your coffee.
That's about $3.25.
Exactly. And
Do you guys have
three
a
of us-
car? You have a Montero,
We bought
right?
a 1989 Montero after we got here, and because we used to go across the Rio, little Rios and everything, the little rivers. So
Well, can I, again, not to get knee deep into it, but can you, maybe your monthly budget, más o menos? Can I
for
guess?
three of us,
Can I try
yeah.
to guess? Okay, you don't pay rent,
No.
right? Okay, there's no rent involved, so it's still got to be up there. It's still got to be around maintenance, cars, 3 people, food,
Pets.
You got to be at least around 1,700.
15 to 17.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
which is-
and that's living good. I mean, that's
I know that's
yeah,
not. That's
yeah.
not, it's not like you're just living your life. It's
Exactly.
not like you could go more, or
We
you
can
could
go
go
more.
less or whatever.
Because I've taken my I've had to take my dogs, and that's another thing I wanted to tell you is that, and I don't want to go backwards, but when I lived in Guanacaste, Alekia is a big issue there, and it's tick fever. And when you have pets, my dog got Alekia.
Yeah, we've heard this
And
before. It's
yes,
real. It's real.
It's
yes.
real. And when I came up here, I said, because she's treated, Taffy came from the USA, and she's treated every month, and even before we came here, with flea and tick preventative, all that. She takes the pill. And when I brought her to the vet here, because she didn't have symptoms at first, and I'm like, you know, we found out it was a leaky. She was really sick. It was 30 days of high doses of cortisone and antibiotics and everything. And they can't heal. They're, you know, like if they get a sore, it's, and I said, how could this happen? Because she's treated. And he said, the flea and tick medication, once they bite, it kills the bug. But they bite first. Well, she got a bite, and ticks are really bad in Guanacaste.
Yes, I know.
Really bad, and almost all. And she said it's almost like a epidemic down there, and that all dogs down there, a lot of the dogs, look, because there's strays everywhere, they all carry Ehrlichia, and that's why they're so skinny and can't gain weight and all that. And it's a scary thing. So
You don't see that so much.
I haven't seen one tick.
You don't see, well, you don't, you have ticks here, but you don't, there's no skinny dogs here.
No, you don't see it in my neighborhood either, and that was really
I'm sorry, I
scary.
cut you off. Go ahead.
No,
I'm sorry.
absolutely, because I'm an animal lover, and I've been doing pet rescue all my life, and it was really hard for me down there to see that, those homeless dogs and cats, and that's real here too, but not where I live now. They treat
Well,
them
there's
like family.
no kill shelters. That's
Right.
one of the reasons. Now, in Fortuna, where I'm at, we call them secuates. I don't know. That's the name of them. You know, if
Okay.
they're like street dogs.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, they get fed by the tourists, and
Right.
you know, they go in, and there's a lot of there's a big animal lover at Lava Lounge up here. And he rescues dogs. He has dogs walking around his restaurant and stuff. So, so there's a lot of people that take care of them. So you don't really see any of the
Right.
You know.
Not
Have
like
you ever
the
been to
beach.
Lands in Love? That's between here and going to like San Ramon. It's a big. They included in their cabinas and the stuff they do with tourism, their zip lines and stuff. It's a huge place, but they have over 400 dogs and over 300 cats.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great though. Somebody's doing it,
Yeah.
you know? Somebody's got to do it. So that, you know, that's something that I never thought about when I was coming here. Like, oh, they're treated for this, they get, you know, they have to go through this protocol.
But
And
you
it's
can be
dated.
proactive, right, though, on that. So if you know about that,
If
like
you know
before
about
you go
it,
in, you can do things prior to.
You could use the powder or the collars with the treatments, the oral treatments, so they won't bite. But
Does ivermectin?
after they bite.
Oh, okay.
But it's like, I didn't know that. So, and I'm like, you know, I was like, wow, how good. But so many people want to go live at the beach, and they bring their pets, because a lot of people ask us about how we got our pets here.
Right.
And I said, this is our protocol. It's dated material. You have so many days to get everything taken care of. You got to go to your state agricultural. They have to prove it. The whole, you know, after there's trips to the vet. But
You know, the biggest question we get on the dogs, and I've been wanting to make this video forever. It's not the dog, how to get them down here. It's the airlines. They're always like, but I don't want to put my dog in cargo.
I know.
And that's the biggest bit, because the vet stuff, it's actually pretty easy technically, as long as you know that you
What
have to
to
do
do.
this between, you know, a week before. The vets know what to do. All that stuff is actually not that difficult, but everybody's like, well, this airline doesn't do it. This airline said I couldn't do it, and I can't do it, but they don't do service dog over here, and my dog's too big, and now he's old. I can't, and I'm not going to leave him. And,
Right.
You know, and it's like, well, there's not a whole lot of options.
Pet Lounge, see, Costa Rica does them. They're more expensive, and we looked into it, because my pit bull, my blue pitty, is with my daughter in the
Now, what did you
States.
say?
My pit bull.
No, what did you say?
Pet Lounge, Costa Rica.
What is that?
It's a transport cargo. It's not. They're not in cargo. It's a pet transport that brings them to
So I'm assuming
Costa Rica.
it's a little bit more.
It's more money, but they'll take any breed, and it's
Well, that's good to know.
yeah, because my pit bull, where I was living, it was so hot when we moved. No airline was going to take our big dog. No airline, because it was just so hot. And then I couldn't find an airline that would take a pit bull. They
my
specifically, yeah, they
Are
go
you for real?
no Rottweiler, no pit bull, no German, you know, that kind of thing.
Well, if they don't let the Rottweiler and the pit bull on the plane, they shouldn't let the owner of the pit bull and the Rottweiler on the plane either.
So my 7-year-old pit bull is with my daughter, which he's with my family, but it broke my heart because he couldn't come. Nobody would bring
But you
him.
could have done it with this.
Pet Lounge,
But I'm
if
assuming
it
must
wasn't
be-
hot.
But it's still.
It was just too hot when we moved. Here,
No, wait a minute. So, but it's not an airplane problem. You just didn't want to take him to Guanacaste, or
We didn't
you
want
take-
to. He couldn't fly with Pet Lounge or anything. We were going to take Pet Lounge with and have him cargoed here with more money. But because I was living in Arizona, it was like 117 degrees out. They would not fly any animals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the airport didn't want to be responsible for any kind of animals because of the heat. So we were going to have to wait to bring him, have him shipped here anyway, and that's what we were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But my daughter loves our dog, so much and he's happy and he's doing well, and we
So everything
FaceTime.
is good, basically.
Yeah, everything's really good, and we FaceTime.
Okay. Oh God. So, but you guys, and also you guys got your residency here. Now,
Yes.
were you working on your residency because prior to actually moving here? So you're coming here. You've made decisions. We're staying.
Yes.
And we're getting residency because
Yes.
I normally tell people to wait on the residency,
Right.
but again, everyone's got to do their own
What they do.
What they do. So you started residency prior, and I think you told me yesterday you got it fairly quick.
89 days.
That's bathtub, 89 days, hot water throughout. Oh my!
I have my driver's license.
Yep.
We have driver's license now here too.
Yep.
So, but we knew what we wanted. We knew what we wanted. We knew we were staying. We knew we were going to start a new life here. And what I did is, we have a really good attorney. I met him before we moved here, and he was referred here. He was referred by somebody to me, and he was wonderful.
Are you under pensionato?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's a security. That's a guarantee that the government, like your Social Security check, if it's $1,000 or more, that's a guarantee to Costa Rica that that's coming in every month, and you're not going to be homeless.
Right.
Basically.
Right, and we pay into Caja.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Just real quick, I was trying to. So on the Caja thing, you were grandfathered in that you don't have to pay that extra.
Right. Yep.
Death, whatever the heck that is, that death thing or whatever it is.
We got ours right before that all changed. Well, we've had it a little while, but yeah, that changed after we got here.
Yeah, that's into effect now. So that's.
But my
that's a whole weird thing, by the way.
my son got residency, and he's 26 because he is a dependent of my husband's pensioner because of his special needs. So he was in the States, and what I had to do is his doctor writes a note, a formal letter saying that yes, this adult boy is a dependent of these people, and you have it notarized and everything you need to do to come here. And Costa Rica accepted Justin as a resident.
Now, how old is Justin?
Justin just turned 26.
So if Justin was just a 26-year-old son, it would have been different?
He would have to show income.
Yeah, 'cause like
he's
normal.
an adult, yes.
Okay.
So Justin, being disabled, can't work. So if somebody,
that's kind of nice. Costa Rica is good with that
It
kind
is.
of stuff.
It is.
Older people, pregnancies, and all that kind of stuff. They're
Right.
pretty good about that.
and they also did this for us. The attorney helped us, and then the Caja decided this when we were in the office with the attorney's there for you for everything. They helped us get our Caja. They met us there, and they helped us through it. But they could have put Justin on our Caja and added that much more because it's under Fred's pension. Instead, they made him his own Caja, which he only gets so much for his disability that he only pays $13 a month for his Caja.
Does he need another dependent on there? Can I get on that?
I mean, to me, that's a great deal because I'm telling you, the U.S. would have just gouged us for as much money as they could.
Wow, that's nice. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a good score.
And my son
Did you guys know
loves it
this?
here.
And you knew this prior to coming?
Not
Well, the
that his was
Caja
gonna-
you don't know
no.
anyway. I mean, nobody
No.
knows that until you get up there, right? So
Yes, and we had been to Biblica, which is a private hospital. What I love is
I made a
can
video
go.
of
Yeah, well, I'm like 25-minute drive to San Jose. I mean, I have everything. I've headed. If I can't find it in Heredia, we go to San Jose, and we've never had issues or anything. I'm not saying don't put you got to be smart wherever you go, but we went to Biblica because Fred had some procedure done. He had a spinal epidural done here, and we got a specialist. It was like a $60 office visit. And he has a lot of titanium in his body from his bike accident. So they gave him 10 injections and a spinal infusion there. And it was so reasonably priced. Even though it was private, I was like, there's no way, because in the States,
Oh no,
they never could, they would
just to walk in the office would have
yes,
been a
and they
crazy-
never shot him in, like they never put it in the right place for him. That's a whole nother video. Okay,
There's a
the
whole lot
healthcare
of
there
videos
and
going
all,
on here.
and a lot healthcare
Dogs.
there. Yeah, healthcare there, healthcare versus here. He was treated. Him and I were treated so well, and they were bilingual doctors, and the woman specialist that did his back. You just. Okay, you get in her office and she just consults you and tells you exactly what you do. She doesn't look at her watch to see when she's going to push you out and get the next one in. I mean, she spent time with us. She answered questions. We felt so good. I mean, even if you have to pay for private, it's so worth it. It's just...
Well, that's what most people do down here. I mean, even with people that have the CAHA, and some people have the CAHA plus their insurance back in the States, but most people, or a lot of people will say, we'll still go to private doctors here, even when they have all those things for certain stuff.
Exactly.
You know, it cuts red tape out, it's quicker.
The weight, like
yeah,
you
all
said.
that kind of stuff. So, and then if something serious happens, usually they'll run back to the States, you know, if they have that insurance.
Okay, yeah.
And then, well, and if they don't, obviously you're waiting in line in the CAHA and you go that route. But
Right.
But a lot of people just they do private even though they have those insurances. A lot of people.
Yes. Well, I'll just give you an idea.
Well, even like the pregnant girl, that video that I put up today, she could go to the CAHA for that.
Right.
You know, there's
Right.
a number of reasons why she doesn't want to, but still, a lot of people do that whole.
And we didn't, we it's Fred's spine, so we wanted to go see a specialist for that, you know? So, I mean, he's lucky that he's still walking, talking, and everything else with the stuff that happened to him. He's a miracle, but I just, I have no qualms about going down there. And the price that we paid, which I'll basically tell you what it is, was for the procedures. And it was a surgery procedure the same day. You know, you had to be put under. So you're using an operating table. You have the specialist, anesthesiologist, and 6 follow-ups, and all his medication, like any medication he needed. It was $2,600 total.
That's almost too low to make sense. You know,
I
it's
know
like,
that.
come on,
We're,
Sandy, what
yes,
is it?
I always said, did they make a mistake? I mean, we would be paying $26,000 in the States for something like that.
Definitely.
I mean, or more.
Well, you guys needed a good turnaround. You guys need a little bit of a luck thing
And
going
that's
on
what's
for a minute.
happening for us now. It's like we're
Ever since the house, right?
yeah, our lives are really happy here, and people always say, well, you ever going to go back? And it's like, no, because Michael, after being here, and we don't have high expectations. We're living the way we want to live. And I'm making so many friends.
And you're not
local
working,
friends.
right? You're totally
I'm
doing
retired.
retirement, and you're not bored.
No. And I take care of my family still.
Right.
But it's like this trip here to La Fortuna, you know, I got to come here with my friend that's visiting, you know, I mean.
She's right there. She should come and say hi. I think she's good.
So do I.
You could come here and say hi.
Hi.
Debbie.
Say hi. Anybody back home, say hey.
Hey, hi. Come to Costa Rica.
Yeah, Debbie's never been to Costa Rica. This has been on her bucket list.
Yes, for years.
All right, we
So-
can mark that one off now.
Yep. And it's amazing how many people in the United States were always too busy for us.
Yeah.
But we come here and everybody wants to come. It's like, well, I lived in the same city before, and now they're all like, oh, we're going to come see you guys. We're going to come see you guys. I'm like, oh. And that's another thing that I love here. I absolutely love here is the locals, the people. We wanted the culture, the history, the food, and the people. That's why we wanted to be here. That's what we want to embrace. The people are so, when you're in, you're in. I mean, you're their friend, and it's, family comes first for them. Just everything that we're missing.
Yeah.
And they don't make everything too busy for you. I mean, it's just, I watched my friend raising her kid, her adult kids are still home. And, you know, in the United States, it's like, oh, my kid's 18, get out. You know, and here it's not like that.
Oh
It's
no,
just- they
yeah.
take care of their families. They really do, and at least my friends do, and it's
Okay,
just
that's enough.
hello.
Good Lord.
They care. They literally do care about you. I mean, these aren't false friendships either. I know I had false friendships. The United States was full of them, and I don't mean to. I'm I'm born and raised in the United States, but it's so changed, and I just couldn't live back there again. The division,
Has there been any surprises that you weren't ready for that's happened?
See,
He needs to shut up.
guys, I apologize. We're not. Our mics kind of went south, so we're not. We're just using the microphone from the phone, and I know you can hear that. It's probably a little bit of annoying on that bird. If I had a little rock,
We'll find.
I would say the driving, the drivers, the driving here.
oh, they turn into totally different people.
Well, like if you have road rage, it would be hard for you. I don't have road rage.
D'Angelo does. Oh my gosh, you can't get in the car. He's yelling at everybody, and it starts right when they block his driveway.
Oh yeah,
right
that's
here.
not. See, that would just make my whole day miserable if I had that.
So
Because
it sounds like you just go with the flow.
I
mean,
do.
you obviously go with the flow because you guys could have easily went. I'm not putting up with this crap. I
absolutely.
mean, especially when it's. I mean, it went south kind of fast, and you're like, oh my gosh, what have we done? So.
That would be excuse for someone to say, "Screw Costa Rica." I ain't going. I'm not.
Oh, they
living
say
there.
screw Costa Rica on a lot of little things, but basically it comes down to they can't fill their time. They're bored, but they don't like to tell people that. I got
Okay.
a whole theory on why people leave. They try to say, "Oh, it's this and that." No, now they have to look at themselves in the mirror and go, "What am I doing with my life?" Because you have the time to do it here.
Right.
You got the space, you got the backdrop, the landscape, and they said they were gonna, write their novel or paint their picture, and they're not doing it. They're
Right.
starting to drink beer at 11, and it's like, and they. A lot of the times it goes south that way.
I could see how people could do that.
Oh, I've
but
done it.
It's all on what you like you said, what you do, because where I live, even though we're rural, I can drive to anything. I mean, we have so much where I live, and that's another thing you have to consider. I think people should consider before they pick a place to live. What is your wants? What is your needs?
Oh,
What do you?
definitely.
Because we like just driving, and I mean, it's like my husband even says it's like a field trip every day because we
Oh,
find.
it's an adventure.
Yes.
You definitely, yes. Definitely.
He says, I feel like I'm in high school and we're on this little school field trip every day. He tells his friends
Then
that.
you guys still feel, okay, this might be a good question. You've been here about 2 years. Do you feel you're still in a honeymoon time? Have you
it's-
gotten out of because
Yeah.
honeymoons are great.
Right.
But then has the reality of actually living here set in and this is where we
live.
are. The distractions are done of getting a house, getting a car, getting residency, getting Justin settled, getting everything going, and it's like, okay, now what do we do? You know what I mean? So
Right.
are you?
The honeymoon is over and it's still exciting to us. I mean, even though we're not in the honeymoon, because we didn't run from anything or flee for anything, this is what we wanted, and we're actually feel good because we're doing what we wanted, and we're accomplishing what we wanted to do. And I've given, it's like I feel freer here in a sense that my life was so about taking care of doing everything out for everybody else and I never really had me time for me, and I feel like I'm finally getting that. I'm finally getting to be that freedom of being me, and this Costa Rica's given me that. And my husband, his friends will see pictures of us or whatever, and they'll say, "Fred, you look so happy." My husband, he battled depression, clinical depression since his accident for 13 years, and he's not depressed.
Yeah, well, that's,
He's just
those two
not
that do that to you.
depressed. Yeah, it's the life. He always says it's the air and the food and the people. It's everything I just said.
It's the whole backdrop.
It's everything.
It's off the hamster wheel. You're
It
off
is.
the wheel, and you can go. I can
Breathe.
breathe. Now, what's Justin? Is he just gonna? I don't know what he can do or what he can't do. I'm not trying to pry or
Right.
anything, but his future. He's basically with you, or can he branch out? What
No,
about-
he'll be with me, and then if I can't, he's higher functioning, but he's got multiple disabilities, So I will always be with him, but he knows how to cook and he knows how some independency, but he just can't be alone. And if I can't take care of him, then my daughter will.
How's he like it?
He loves it.
Oh,
He
cool.
loves it here, and that says a lot for a child with autism.
Yes, it does, because normally they like the.
They don't like change.
No, they do not.
Oh,
I used
no
to work
change.
with them. No, they don't.
Yes, no. In fact, if I'll go in his room and I'll start, and he'll go, and he'll just get up and put it right back at it.
Mom, we've talked about this.
Yeah, don't. I like it over here. But I'm going to trip over it, Justin. I don't care. I like it over there. So, but he loves it. He has actually gone. I told you, my friends now, my local friends, I get invited to their birthday parties, Christmas, New Year's, all that at their house. And we have game night and all that. And Justin comes with us.
Nice.
And that is so and the kids that are about his age, they'll sit and they'll talk to him and they'll treat him like a human being, and they don't judge him. And when he doesn't come, because we leave it up to him, sometimes he doesn't, because he has the social anxiety, and if he doesn't go, they understand. It's like it's just wonderful. And there's times that he says no, but we always give him the option. But he does like going to the market, and he does like going to places with us.
Now, how do you feel about? And you can just go no. How do you feel about if people, maybe they have some questions, maybe they have some special needs kids, they're thinking about coming to Costa Rica, or maybe they want to talk to you for some other reason. Is it okay to put your email in the description of this video if they want to get a hold of you?
Absolutely.
Maybe about the dogs or something else. Is that all right?
Yes.
So, guys, if you want to talk to Sandy, we're going to put her email address, or however, Facebook or whatever you want, in the description of this video. Sandy, thanks so much for talking. It's so nice to see people with this kind of attitude, because this is exactly what you need if you're going to come down to live here. You got to have this. Again, past patience.
Yes.
It's got to go with the flow. It's not like where you came from, and
don't compare it.
I know, I don't even understand.
Don't compare it, because we're guests.
Right.
Even though I'm a resident, I'm a guest in this beautiful country, and I'm not going to come here and go, well, in the USA we do that like this.
That's
and
so annoying. And it's not even, it's not even, maybe even better. There's a reason it's a simple life down here. So,
that's why a lot of us come.
Right. Well,
the other ones should stay home.
I know, right?
Yes.
All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Anyway, guys, I'm Michael Allen. That's Sandy. Debbie's over here. Hey, guys, things are going to pop up. If you're thinking about living or traveling anywhere, always do your homework and research. And if it's Costa Rica, our videos. All right, man. Peace.